Next, we'll learn the remaining parts. The main part of the ears and the flowers are worked using the adjustable magic ring, crocheting in rounds counterclockwise. The inner ears are worked using the foundation chain, crocheting along the starting chain. The eyes and nose are pre-made, so no crocheting is needed. First, I'll explain the main part of the ears. Please watch the demonstration. Take the corresponding yarn. First, cast on the adjustable magic ring. After completing the cast on, work 6 single crochets into the magic ring. Once completed, tighten the starting tail, tighten the center of the piece. Join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. This completes round 1. Now let's crochet round 2. Make 1 beginning chain. In this round, work 1 single crochet increase into each stitch of the previous round. Finally, join with a slip stitch. This completes round 2. For the following rounds, no new stitch techniques are used. Just follow the pattern to complete crocheting. Leave a yarn tail for sewing at the end. This concludes the crochet method for the ears. Follow the previous method. Refer to the pattern to complete the required quantity of ears. Next, let's learn about the inner ear. Make 9 chains. Starting from the second stitch from your hook. Pick up 1 strand on the top of the chain and work 3 single crochets. Four half double crochets. And finally 6 half double crochets in the last chain. Rotate while crocheting. Next, pick up the other 2 strands of the chain, which is the insertion point for this side stitch technique. Remember not to insert into the same stitch as these 6 stitches. Work 4 half double crochets in sequence. Three single crochets. Do not join with the first stitch, using a slip stitch at the end. Finish with a chain stitch to secure and cut the yarn. This completes one inner ear. Follow this method to complete the remaining quantity of inner ears. Next, learn how to make flowers. Start by crocheting petals. Take the yarn. Begin with a magic ring. Then work 10 single crochets in the magic ring loop. Complete. Pull the ring tight. Join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. The first round is complete. Crochet the second round. Work 3 chains as beginning chain. The next stitch is a DC3 together in 1. Yarn over the hook. Insert the hook into the first stitch below. Pull the yarn through. Yarn over and pull through the first 2 loops. 1 incomplete double crochet is done. Work 2 more incomplete double crochets in the same position. One, 2. Complete. Work 3 incomplete double crochets on the left stitch. One, 2. 3. Yarn over once, and pull through all loops. This completes the DC3 together in 1 cluster. Chain 3 as a transition. Make 1 slip stitch. Work into the same stitch as the previous stitch, do not tighten. Work 1 slip stitch on the left stitch. Note that because there are many stitches before, it may cover the 3rd stitch of the previous round. When crocheting, go slightly slower. Find the correct stitch. Do not crochet the wrong stitch. We consider the first chain to the current stitch as one sequence. Then repeat this sequence. Chain 3 as beginning chain. Work 1 double crochet 3 together in 1 bobble stitch. Then chain 3. Make 1 slip stitch in the same stitch. Work 1 slip stitch on the left stitch. This completes the second sequence. Follow this sequence to complete the round. You can leave the last slip stitch unworked in the final sequence. Cut the yarn and weave in the ends. This completes the petal. Slightly tidy it up, make the petal protrude forward. Next, learn the flower core. Take the yarn, chain 1 to begin. Then make 3 chains as beginning chain. Then on the 4th to last chain. Pick up 1 strand on the top of the chain, and work a DC5 bobble stitch. First make 5 incomplete double crochets. Finally yarn over and pull through all loops at once. This completes the DC5 bobble stitch. Continue with 3 chains. Make 1 slip stitch at the same insertion point as the bobble. Leave a 10 cm tail and cut the yarn. Thread the needle. Pass through the center of the petal. Tidy up the flower core, making it protrude forward. Secure the backside with glue. Then tie off and weave in the yarn tail of the flower core. Next, cut another strand of the same color yarn for the flower core. Take 1 strand and thread it through a thin needle. First secure the tail on the wrong side of the petal. Then embroider line segments on the right side of the petal. Embroider 2 segments per petal. Keep the segments short, to avoid looking unattractive. Finally, weave in the ends. That's the making method of the flower. Everyone make another one? Now let's move on to assembly. First, take the fabric pieces needed for the ear warmers. Just take one set. Place them on the front body of the ear warmer to check the position. Check the position. See if it fits properly. Just make sure you're satisfied with it. You can use a pet brush from home to brush the fluff on the ear warmers. Gently brush the fluff. Skip this step if you don't have one. Next, sew the ears first. Press the ear main part flat and sew it onto the front body. Close to the rod. No specific sewing technique required. Just make sure it's securely sewn. Finally, tie off and weave in the ends. Next, take out the inner ear. Sew it onto the ear main part. Make sure the stitches don't show on the wrong side. Finally, weave in the ends. Sew the other side the same way. Next, take out the flower. Apply glue on the backside. Attach it next to the ear. Position it according to your preference. Then use the reserved yarn to sew a few stitches to keep it in place. Finally, take out the finished product eyes and nose. Cut off the spiral behind the nose. Glue it underneath the ear, centered on the front body. Wait until the glue dries completely. Then cut a same color yarn segment about 1 cm long below the nose. Length approximately 1 cm. Or adjust to your liking. Finally, tie off and weave in the ends. Lastly, apply blush on both sides of the eyes. Apply in small amounts multiple times. After completion, sew up the other ear flap position as well. This completes the explanation of all ear flaps. Once the ear flaps are done, next learn how to make gloves. Divided into Section 1. Section 2. The cord. The main part of the ear, the inner ear, eyes, nose. Next learn Section 1 and Section 2. Section 1 uses chain cast-on method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise with the same method as the first round of the front body. The remaining rounds are worked evenly. Just follow the pattern chart. Note that since Section 1 has fewer stitches, mark every stitch. I'm using the wrong side of Section 1 as the right side of the fabric. Now crochet Section 2. Use chain cast-on method. Crochet in rounds counterclockwise along the foundation chain. Connect to Section 1 during the process. The stitch technique used is W3SC in 1. Please watch the demonstration. Take the corresponding yarn. First chain 5. Pay attention to marking. Then start from the second to last stitch. Crochet 3 single crochets in sequence. Since the stitch count for the first round is low, you can place stitch markers on every stitch. The stitch marker at the starting point remains in place for now. Crochet 1 single crochet in the last chain stitch, 3 SC in 1, that is, crochet 3 single crochets in the same stitch. This completes the 3 SC in 1. Rotate the piece. Pick up the other 2 strands of the chain, and crochet 2 single crochets in sequence. This is the insertion point for the single crochets on this side. Pay attention not to insert into the placement of these 3 single crochets. Crochet while removing the stitch marker at the starting point. Finally, make a single crochet increase. Once done, join with the first stitch using a slip stitch. This completes the first round. Rounds 2 through 12 do not involve new stitch techniques. Just follow the pattern chart accordingly. Pay attention to marking and checking the stitch count. Now let's crochet round 13. First, crochet according to the chart until before the red marked section. Once done, the next 2 stitches need to be connected with section 1's 2 stitches. Insert the hook into the stitch on the left side of section 2. Then insert into the first stitch of section 1. Insert from outside to inside. Combine and make 1 single crochet together. You can place a stitch marker on this single crochet to mark it. Once done, insert the hook into the stitch on the left side of section 2. Then insert into the last stitch of section 1. Combine and make 1 single crochet together. This completes the red marked stitch pattern. Then crochet the remaining stitches of section 2. Finally, join with a slip stitch. This completes round 13. It's now connected with section 1. Next, let's crochet round 14. Follow the chart. Start crocheting on the stitches of section 2. Once completed, leave the 2 combined stitches unworked. Pick up and crochet the remaining stitches of section 1. Remove the stitch marker from the first stitch of section 1. Begin from the second stitch. Work from inside to outside. Also remove the stitch marker from the last stitch of section 1. Finally, pick up and crochet the remaining stitches of section 2. This completes round 14. For the following rounds, no new stitch techniques are used. Just follow the pattern chart and crochet straight through to the end of round 23. While crocheting, if you get confused, mark the stitches in time. Next, I'll demonstrate round 24, using this swatch. Note that my round count here is for demonstration only. After completing round 23, finish with a chain stitch to secure. Leave a 5 cm tail and cut the yarn. Take new yarn to crochet round 24. Insert the hook into the first stitch position. First stitch position. Insert the hook into the first stitch position. Make a slip knot with the yarn. Place it on the hook. Pull the yarn through. Then follow the pattern chart to complete the remaining rounds. Remember to place a stitch marker. Everyone follow the pattern chart to complete section 2. That's the crocheting method for section 2. After completing the final round, cut the yarn and weave in the ends. Next, let's talk about the remaining parts. The rope is made by crocheting chain stitches directly. The length can be adjusted according to your preference. Both the beginning and end need to leave about 30 cm yarn tails for sewing. The ear crocheting method is identical to the one on the ear warmer. Just follow the pattern chart to crochet them directly. Once completed, fold the glove upwards along the color change. Glue the eyes and nose at this folded position. The eyes and nose are pre-made. No need to crochet them. Embroider a line segment below the nose, approximately 0.7 cm in length, or adjust to whatever fits properly for you. Sew the ears onto the top edge. You can also place them first to check the position. Position can be decided based on your preference. The sewing method is similar to the earmuffs. Everyone sew it up. Then take the cord and sew it onto section 1 on this side. Glove folded edge. No specific method required, as long as it's secure. Up to this point, the entire product has been fully explained. If during the crocheting process, there are still unclear parts, don't hesitate to join our Facebook group to get supports. Susan's family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.